If you have MCAS and your list of triggers just keeps growing, despite everything you've been told, well, what if the problem isn't the mast cells themselves, but how reactive your whole system has become? There is something deeper going on. First, let's be very clear about this. Your symptoms are real. Your reactions are real. When your body reacts, mast cells are releasing chemical mediators, cytokines, prostaglandins, and histamine, all being released into your system. This is a genuine physiological response. It's not imagined, and it's certainly not in your head. MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, involves mast cells becoming overactive. Mast cells are part of the immune system. They are found throughout the body, especially in the skin, the gut, the airways. They are part of the body's early warning and defense system, detecting potential issues and initiating a response. In some cases, there are clear drivers, such as infections, toxins, environmental exposures. But in many people, even when these are addressed, the system remains reactive, and it often becomes more sensitive over time. Most approaches focus on avoiding triggers, reducing histamine, stabilizing the mast cells. And while these can help, well, many people notice their world becomes smaller and their triggers increase. So a deeper question emerges. Why are the mast cells so easily triggered in the first place? Now, to understand this, we need to look at how the body regulates itself as a whole. The hypothalamus sits at the center of how the body regulates itself, integrating information, coordinating responses across the nervous, endocrine, and immune systems. So when this regulatory system becomes dysregulated, the nervous system and the immune system shift into a more reactive state, increasing sensitivity across the whole system. The nervous system and immune system are very closely integrated, so signals from the hypothalamus play a key role in regulating immune cell activation. So when the hypothalamus becomes overwhelmed, dysregulated, the body is held in a state of ongoing overload. Immune responses become amplified. And from this perspective, you can see that MCAS is not just a mast cell problem, but part of a broader, system-wide dysregulation. In this state, the mast cells are not malfunctioning. They are responding exactly as they are designed to do, but within a system that has become oversensitized. Simple way to understand this is through how allergies develop. Initial exposures may produce little or no reaction, but over time the immune system becomes sensitized, and the same stimulus produces a stronger response. In MCAS, this effect is amplified because the mast cells are operating within a system that is already in overload, with signals from the hypothalamus continuously influencing immune reactivity. This means that stimuli which were previously tolerated now trigger a much stronger physiological response, leading to more frequent and more intense reactions. You maybe recognize this. Increasing sensitivities, new triggers appearing, things you once tolerated become more problematic. In my clinical work, the consistent contributor to this state is an ongoing internal load within the body, particularly signals that are generated and not being resolved. These are emotional signals, such as anger, frustration, grief, lack of fulfillment. When these signals are not processed and allowed to complete, they do not disappear. They remain active within the system, contributing to system load, affecting regulation and increasing sensitivity. The encouraging part is this. What we're describing here is a change in how the system is functioning, not a fixed or permanent fault. And because this is a regulated system, it has the capacity to change. So if the system is shifted into a more reactive state, it can also shift back towards a more stable and tolerant state. So the aim is not just avoiding triggers, but helping the system become more regulated, less reactive, and more tolerant again. Now that involves learning how to reduce the state of overload within the system by understanding the signals your body is generating, particularly emotional signals. Then learning how to respond to those signals in a way that allows them to complete, rather than remaining active and continuing to drive reactivity. If this resonates with you, then check out the other videos on this channel where I explore this further. And if you'd like a very structured approach, you can explore Mickel Therapy's course choices, available at the details are below, where you can be guided step by step through the whole process. I hope this video gives you a fresh insight or two. Thanks for watching, and see you next video. Bye.